Paul Huet here, Chairman of Newfound Gold. It's a real privilege to be here. I've been here now about 7 months, and I've been in mining, just by way of background, for 37 years. I was one of those bad hockey players in the late 80s in northern Canada. So at 18 years old, I found myself in a mine. So I've been doing this for 37 years. Predominantly all underground, but I've had the privilege of working a lot of narrow vein deposits in Canada, the United States, South Africa, Mexico, Australia. So a lot of global experience. And I was very intrigued by, obviously, Newfound Gold. There's a lot of upside, a lot of opportunity, and some of the world's greatest shareholders alongside it, with Eric Sprott being at the helm. It's very obvious. It's grade. You start looking at some of these deposits in the world. Some of us, we'd like to see some of the intercepts that there are 10, 15, 20, 30 intercepts here across kilometers of lengths here. We wish for one of these intercepts sometimes in some of our minds. We go, I just wish I could have one of those intercepts like that. And there are multiple zones of them. There's not just one. There's everywhere we look, we continue to find these great high grade intercepts. It's about putting it together now. So obviously the location in Canada, one of the greatest places you're going to find in the world to be mining, the grade and the shareholders. It was hard for me to say no, to not want to be part of the team to grow and take this from where it's been, because it has been an exploration company and a story for a number of years now, to pivoting to where it's going to be and getting into that operation setting, which is a very different world, as you know, Matt, given your own experience. My role is predominantly putting together a strategy alongside the CEO, right? So building a strong board. You can see that we've made some changes to the board right out of the gate, and we've appointed a brand new CEO, and I can't tell you how pleased I personally am, and I know that I get the privilege of speaking to a lot of shareholders often. Our shareholders are very pleased with Keith Boyle. He's done an outstanding job. He continues to surprise me on a number of levels in a very, very positive way, and doing some things that are very accretive for shareholders. So hats off to Keith, and I would encourage people, if you haven't met our CEO, Keith Boyle, I would strongly encourage people, find him, get a hold of him. He's certainly doing an amazing job. So from my perspective as chairman, it's to make sure that we've got the right executive team, and we do now, making sure the strategy is aligned, and we have a vision for our shareholders. So as you know, I represent the shareholders, and it's a little different than being the CEO. People don't understand sometimes the differences between being a chairman and representing the shareholders and being the CEO who's on the ground in the executive team. So there are some major differences there. We've just put out a PEA, and some of the numbers there are outstanding as well. You look at some of these numbers, we'll be able to fund a large part of that operational growth right from that PEA. That's a big step here. What Keith is doing here by starting small and creating some revenue from some of the smaller ounces out of the gate, so call it 69, 70,000 ounces a year, that opens the door for us to get into operation and really start building a bigger operation rather than diluting our shareholders every round, right? This allows us to start a bulk sample with the PEA, get into mining, and pivot from that exploration setting and getting it permitted and getting us going. A tremendous change from where we've been, Matt. So I can't underscore how big this is in our world and in a small area. I just want to point out just how small of an area it is. You're talking about 5% of our ground package here. We have a lot of upside everywhere we start drilling. So I know that I'm quite excited, and the ability to get in early on the ground and build something from scratch. Normally the properties I've been involved with have been around for 5, 10, some of them 50, 60 years. We can learn from all those experiences, myself, Keith, the rest of the team, and make sure we have a state-of-the-art operation right out of the gate, which we can all be proud of, that'll be here for decades to come. From my role as chairman, it will always be to continue representing the shareholders, as I said earlier, but supporting Keith is critical. He needs all the support he can get at the board level, and making sure that our decisions that we're making with our capital are smart decisions. We can't just be raising money, and we need to be very disciplined in how we spend it. And I can say with a high level of confidence, Keith is doing that. He is very focused at the budget. He's very focused at the process. He's very focused at making sure we're not spending erroneously. Again, I know I've mentioned this, but it is worth saying time and time again. When you have the right team and the right people at the helm, things change a lot. And I'm, again, very, very pleased with our leader here, our new CEO. I just went to site here, myself and our largest shareholder. We went to site, Eric Sprott and I, about a month ago. Got to meet the whole team. It was a great day, actually. We had a whole bunch of analysts out there. And you can't underestimate the value of that town of Gander and the power and the roads, the Trans-Canada Highway. You're in the heart of it here. We're not in an area secluded up in northern Greenland where we have to helicopter things inside. We're talking about one of the big airports in Gander where you got U.S. military flying in and using it as a pit stop to fly into other places, into Europe and that. This is Gander. There's a movie about it because that's where everyone ended up going after the 9/11 situation, because Gander was a great place to fuel up. But the point is the infrastructure, the power, the roads, the town itself. Keith is right. He's 100% right. We don't get these opportunities where we got a town or this type of infrastructure, road access, power access, people. Our people are very nearby. This thing here is far from one and done. We don't understand it near as much as the drill bit's going to explain it to us. And putting the mine into production and doing a phased approach. Look, I love the phased approach. It's what I did at Klondike. It's what I did at Karora. My whole career, I've been able to do a phased approach so that I'm not leaning on my shareholders and diluting them down. I'm always aligned with our shareholders. We're aligned very much with them here in this case as well. So we've got a strong team, strong asset, some of the best grades you're going to find in the world. Just let us do what we do best, and that's build a mine and build it in a phased approach in a manner where we're being very disciplined. And those are things that we're good at, and we've got the team to do it now. So the things I would encourage people to do is, if you want more information, reach out to that CEO. Please reach out to Keith Boyle or Fiona Child. Fiona has done an outstanding job for us. We love her. She's doing great work in her new role. So those two people can answer any questions, more so than I can. Remember, my job as chairman is represent shareholders, make sure strategy is good, and make sure the CEO is supported. Very different than building it. But I'm very proud to be here and excited about what we're going to do here over the next couple of years.